If you're like me and you're always struggling with your Claude tokens, in this video I'll teach you 20% of the things you need to save 80% of the tokens in the future. The first thing you need to know is that every time you open Claude, this is when you create a new session. And when we go to the context, we can see that what's already on the context. So we're going to have the following things. We're going to have the system prompt. We're going to have system tools that we might have. We have memory files, the skills that are being loaded. The messages is going to normally start at 0 because it's a new session, only if you are resuming a previous one. And then it's going to also tell us the free space. The important thing to know here is that if you see that a lot of skills are being used or memory files and so on, you need to clean this up because this is actually going to scale in the terms of usage that you're going to have. What happens is, since the context already starts big, this is going to be added to every message that you have on the session. And this is going to end up costing you thousands of tokens without being needed. A first step that you can do is that you can go on your project where you are opening the Claude session, and you can look into the CLAUDE.md file. And a good principle is that this file should always have less than 200 lines. If you see that's already going to 300, 400, or even more, you have to linear it out. So you can take a look into this file and see if anything can be moved into a skill, and then in this file you just link it like an index. You say, if you want to generate a report for this, use this skill. Don't actually put the information on how to generate the report on this file. Another thing you can do is that if you have some kind of documentation here, like informational things that are only used in some cases, you can actually create these README files with this information. And again, you do the same logic. You create this index of this information and when it should be used, and you link it to the file. And then Claude, when it sees that there's a relation to this and it needs this kind of information, is going to know that this is in this file and is going to read it into the context. And like this, you're only going to use tokens for this when you actually need it. Next thing you need to know is that the model. So we do /model. We're going to have here 3 options. We're going to have the default one. So it's going to be Sonnet 4.6 or a different one, depending on when you're watching this video. The same thing for the Opus. So this is the beta one that costs more. And we have ICO, so the lightest one that you can use for simple things. But we only have 3 options here. And what we actually should do, if you want to save tokens, if you don't want to use just the best ones, is that in the beginning of a task, you should always do the following. So you put model and you use opus-plan. So what this is going to do is that it's going to use the beta model, so the Opus one, to plan what you need to do and use the Sonnet for the rest. Next thing that's also related to this is that every time you want to do something, you shouldn't just ask him to do and leave in auto mode. You should actually start in plan mode and iterate with it. So for this, you click Shift Tab, and you can see here on the bottom is changing. You see, accept edits on, plan mode on, and auto mode on. So the auto mode on is actually going to accept and don't accept the things by itself. So it's the previously accept everything dangerously, some flag like this, but they changed it so that actually the model help us do this. So if there's something that's a bit more dangerous, it's actually not going to do it and it's going to prompt us to accept it. But what I wanted to say is that you should use this one that says plan mode on. So you always start a new session with this one. You see the plan, and after you validate that that's exactly what you want, you can go ahead and continue the session without plan mode on. The next thing you need to know is that there's these skills from Andrzej Karpathy that you should use in your projects. So this Andrzej Karpathy, there was a post that he did on Twitter about the main problems with vibe coding, with when you're interacting with an agent. So these problems are defined here on this repository, and then the solution. And the simplest way for you to do this, it will actually prompt Claude to set it up. So you can just copy the link. You can go back to our session. You should create a new one. In our case, this one should be empty, but let's just create a new one, and you can just tell them, set up this in this project. And you can just tell them like this, and after it's being set up, don't forget, create a new session so that you don't reuse this context for the future tasks. This is a good follow-up for the next point that you need to know, is that don't reuse sessions for different tasks. The problem when you do this is that you reuse context. So if you already use 20,000 tokens for task A, and then you start task B, it's already using the 20,000 tokens for every new message that you send. Okay, some of them might be cached, that you pay less for them, but still you are using them without any reason. If you need to use this kind of information on the next task, on the next session, you can just write compacts, and this command will actually compact the context and save a bit of tokens for the continuation of that session, making it cheaper for the new task, and you still have information about the previous one. You can also put some optional custom summarization instructions. So if there's some specific thing that you don't want it to compact to lose the information, you can put it here. So you can say, don't forget how the endpoint X works. So something like this. Imagine that you are working on a middleware for some endpoint. You can tell them like this. You will know how the endpoint works, and it will be easier to implement this middleware. You can always create a new session, but the thing about creating a new session is that it's gonna, again, looking through the files, searching for where this function is, where the middleware should be implemented, and it's gonna use even more tokens. So sometimes compacting and continuing on this session just with the information that we want might be useful than actually creating a new session. Next point is a very nice tool that we can use called Graphify. So I already did a video about this. I'll link it down on the description. But basically what it does is the following. So every time you ask some question about the code, or you want to do something, what Claude Code is going to do is that it's going to search through the files, looking for what might be important or not to do what you are asking him to do. And the problem with this is that all these files are ending up being in context. So the context end up being too big and you end up paying for a lot of tokens without any reason. Another problem with this is that if you create a new session and you ask for something similar, it's going to, again, read through the same files, adding them into context. And sometimes there's not even the right files. It adds to the context, you paid for the tokens, and is not useful. So the solution for this is called Graphify. And the way it works is that it creates a graph like this in Claude Code, and Claude will use this graph to search for what it needs to do. So if it's looking for a test request, so you can write test, and it's going to have these nodes here created and the relations between them. So for example, we're looking to test option on multiple rules. So we see that's here, and there's a connection with this file. So it's already knowing that's in this file. And this is going to save a lot of tokens instead of reading the whole file that might not be even related to save tokens. So this is the repo, and I'll leave the link in the description to the video where I explain how you can set this up and have it yourself. Another tool that you must know is that this agent browser from Vercel Labs. So if you want to do some kind of automation, something that interacts with the browser, you are probably already familiar with Chrome, the plugin that it connects to Claude is able to work with it. So, but the problem with that is that this plugin is not made to work with agents. So Claude Code, when it's interacting with it, is going to end up using a lot of tokens. It's going to take a picture, it's going to analyze the picture, so it's analyzing image. There's a lot of tokens involved to this, and it's not optimal solution for this use case. There's also this other solution called Playwright MCP you can use. It's already better than the default Chrome browser plugin that allows you to control the browser. So it's going to use less tokens and it's going to help you interact with the browser without being detected. But the best one that currently exists is this agent browser. So it's directly made to work with agents. So it's going to use a lot less tokens than any of the other options. So the next tool I want to teach you is not mandatory in order to save tokens, but it's cool to know for you to save time. You see here on the bottom, I have the model being used and the effort. And if I actually start a session, we'll see that there will be more fields appearing. So I have the context, so how much I used of the context for this model in this session. I have my 5-hour limit of tokens, and I have when it resets, so for the next 5 hours. So in order for you to have this, you can just type status line and you tell them what you want. So you can tell the current model, the effort, the context, you can tell them anything you want here, and it will create this bottom line with this information for you. For example, for my context, if you want a progress bar, you have to tell them progress bar for the context. So you can tell them in plain English and it will create this for you. This is very useful because if you are like me and you don't have infinite tokens, it's always good to see, okay, my context is still small. I don't need to compact it. I don't need to create a new session. I can continue here. Okay, when it's gonna end the 5 hours? Okay, it's in 4 hours. Because if you don't have this, what you have to do, for example, to know the context, you have to do /context. Then you have to wait a bit. You have to scroll up. You have to analyze how much being used. Okay, I have 72% free of my context to use. If you want to see the usage, you need to do /usage. If you want to see when it's gonna reset, you have to go on Chrome. Have to go here. Okay, 68% is going to reset in 4 hours. You see, so this status line is always good to have it there because it saves you time in opening these tabs, going there and check, running the commands. So it's an extra tip for you to save time. If you like these tips and at least one of them helped you out, a like and a subscribe really helps me out. I'll leave the link to all these skills and all these tools down on the description, and I'll see you on the next one.